to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, our full meeting is ordered tonight. Would there be any public comment? Okay. Need a motion to approve the agenda as presented tonight? I'll make a motion. With the addition of food prices. See this. Thank you. Thank you, Darren. All in favor of the agenda as presented, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. The motion to approve the minutes from the June 12th meeting. I'll make the motion to approve. I'll second the motion. All in favor of the minutes from June 12th, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Need a motion to approve requisitions 24,571, 24,577. Second.
You see working contract tables and bulletin boards. Those would be percent tables for, I believe the high school and some bulletin boards throughout Warren High School. Division math additions teachers, this is for sixth grade teacher who needs math teacher positions. And financial literacy and principles of business is for human sketch business classes. The IESP membership is for Mr. Carlson to attend the IESP conference in the fall and his membership. He's got a smaller questions.
All in favor of requisitions, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. I'll need a motion to approve resignations. One. So. Doug. All. Karen. Discussion on resignations. Nice letter.
She's done a really nice job. This is Amy Cummings on her resignation. She's going back to Jess, and she's done a really nice job for us. She'll be great for us.
All in favor of resignations, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Motion to approve employments 1 through 9. Discussion on the employments. ESS.
The Department of School Services. So Sarah Clayton is the Director of Cooperative School Services. All of the employees at Cooperative School Services, which is our special ed cooperative, and with central contracts of their teachers are employed by us, and then we seek reimbursement from Rensselaer. So it's always been like that. At one time, I believe we were the fiscal agent as well, but Rensselaer took that over at some point, but we still retain the responsibility for hiring and paying those individuals, processing people.
Salaries.
So those costs, yes, you're split between 9 districts, right? So they're employed by the co-op, and those districts share the cost of that. So we get a bill for Cooperative School Services to pay for the salaries. And also, their salaries are paid by a couple of federal grants. There's an IDEA grant and a Preston grant that helps fund those salaries as well. So that's shared by 9 of us.
All in favor of employments 1 through 9, please say aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Right, some food service contracts here. The motion for food prices. for the 2025-2026 school year. I'll make a motion.
This recommendation from Rebecca to keep the food charges the same as they were from last year. We still don't know what, there's legislation at the federal level moving forward to cut back on SNAP TANF benefits and how that's going to affect direct certification kids. If it affects direct certification kids, and they would be filling out a pre-reduced application. We could continue to monitor this, and if we have to adjust it later, we could, but at this time, she's worked with her DOE specialists, and they agreed that keep the food prices where they're at, we should be. And then those are current prices, and we just be reaffirming current prices.
All in favor of food prices, 2025-26 school year, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. We have a motion to approve food service contract point of sale.
Maybe I could explain each of these. I can do that. Those ones, there's 3 to 5 of them. So these are all food service contracts. So all these contracts are bid out through the Northern Indiana Service Center. So we all do cooperative bidding along with other districts in Northern Indiana to bid our food, commodities, milk, point of sale, that kind of thing. So the first one you're going to review is the point of sale. So when we get up to the cash register, who's managing how that money is distributed and collected and how it's doing the computer system. The second one is a produce vendor. So we also contracted our produce. Third one is snack and beverage. Fourth one is milk and dairy for Prairie Farms. And then the fifth one for this food supplies and commodities is Gordon Food. The GFS is Gordon Foods, and then HPS, I can tell you this one's where I get speakers. But those would be the 2 supplies. And so that's just how each one, I guess, is contracted.
Do you have any questions? Go ahead and on any of those.
I'll make the motion.
What do we change individually?
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah. That'll be the first one. Okay, do I have a second on that?
I'll second.
All in favor of the food service contracts point of sale, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Motion to approve I looked this up, trying to pronounce the word. Piazza produce. I'll make a motion. Second.
So,
All in favor of the contract for produce, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. We have a motion to approve the snack and beverage from Commercial Food Systems.
oh,
So, all in favor of the snack and beverage from Commercial Food, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes.
I'll make the next motion.
So, this one is for the Prairie Farms. Also. All in favor of the milk and dairy contract, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Last one here is food contract for supplies and commodities from HPS and Gordon Food Service. I'll make the motion. Second. All in favor of the supplies and commodities contracts, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. A motion to approve the nonprofit bus rental for First Christian Church, which does look like this is pastor's works, but maybe no fault of their own, we move the meeting. Because we made it.
So moved.
Okay. I'll second the motion. All in favor of the bus rental to the First Christian Church, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes.
Next time, do the institution. Thank you. It's Mr. Walsh has something. Mr. Walsh is with our new principal.
Yes.
You
I
don't
can
need
just
to.
tell you my report, my little report that I have. I moved in. So everything was good. Moved in there, met some, teachers. I sent out an email, this past, week, just introducing myself to everybody and then, put together a weekly newsletter for the staff. That will go out next week and then I'm going to, I do a calendar invite for, the teachers for, next week and the week after. If they wanted to come in and with me individually to kind of see what what they like about things and what we can do better and kind of go from there. We've been doing a lot of just doing a lot of you know making my office, I guess, and going from there. But it's been nice. Everybody's been very helpful and very nice.
So the background music, it's been here, yes, it's been here. And so I think things. Construction update, if anyone's interested, we can go afterwards and do a little tour. We've been painting in the, both of the cafeterias. The high school cafeteria has been painted, we painted that this week, yesterday, I believe the top is up gray, was white. And then they painted the underneath, you can see that today. They have not put the panels in yet, but they've set the posts, corners. Flooring is supposed to come in next week. With that. They got this drywall, they are working on the stairs, they have that cut out, but they start forming the stairs. Elementary. Lighting is a little bit behind schedule because they've not received ship date from lights, so give them a push a little bit, because it's pretty dark in there. Without these clouds, they call them, it's black. This is dark on too. Once again, flooring should come in. We're gonna start here first before they go to the high school, I believe. But that should be here next week or so. We're working great on lighting, so we're still looking for that. The sound panels for the high school are on back order, so those aren't in yet. Breezeway over there. We talked about polished concrete. In the meantime, we talked about putting down an epoxy so it's not so slick, because kids are coming out from football or visitors, it's going to be very slick. So without any extra charge, they would be able to apply an epoxy and still sand down the floor, but then apply the epoxy. Kind of a little bit of a grit to it. That should help. They replaced some of the panes with glass. There's still one or two panes that still need to be replaced. They take out the lights. They're still working in there. Canopy, you probably can see that from the outside. They enclosed the metal. They were supposed to work on the brickwork yesterday or today, so I don't have it out there to see if they've done that yet. Bleachers, you probably see the bleachers. They've really been working pretty hard. I think they started that last week. Looks really nice. If you go out there and you look back at it, it's really slick. It's really sharp.
But they're working on something.
Yeah, they really worked hard.
What's the okay.
So Jenny and I stopped and talked to a group out there, and there are a couple of retired people that came back after retiring from their jobs and went something. That's just what they did, travel plan, install bleachers for different things. And yeah, they got a system. They just really have a system going. One group's doing this, all the next group's on the next part. They just keep moving on down the line. Our offices, they took out all the ceiling that's been put back in most of the rooms. So the main room is not, there's no ceiling tile. They took the units out. We do have air back in the middle school now, so the building has air, with the exception I think of the cafeteria. Our offices do not have air yet, but they're still not ready to move back. We're still on the front physical offices. After this building, let's start But we should be good to go. Substantial completion is 31st of this month. So we push to get that done. We have weekly construction meetings on Tuesday. I'll send out a registration announcement here, probably early next week, about registration on the 31st from 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock, and then August 1st from 8 to 3. Meet the Teachers is August 6th from 6 to 7. On a different note, you might have heard a little bit of national news about the federal government withholding federal grants from schools across the nation. So what we're currently waiting on is our Title II, 3, and 4, which amounts to about $41,000. So I don't know when we will get the money. Hopefully we will get the money. Part of that money is tied up in teacher salaries, especially for class size reduction. We use Title II for class size reductions with education. So education will have to see. There's some information about IASB small conference. So if you're interested, please let me know and I'll get you some. One thing you will notice on next month's pay vouchers that you're going to get a copy of is up till now, you've not seen any construction bills. If you recall, there was $4 million that the district put into a construction fund with Indiana, Trust Indiana. That's generating interest. So that's our money that we use for the project. The other $2 million went into the Bank of New York Mellon. And so out of that, we paid the cost of issuance, like the bond council, survey work, that kind of thing. And so really that money, that $2 million, belongs to the holding corporation. So when we went through the closeout for the bond council kind of told us to think of it this way, that's kind of their money. So it does come to the board, you don't approve those pay apps. Well, we're getting to the end of that $2 million. So next month, you're going to start seeing construction payments. So a question might be too, is do we just pay the whole contract at once, or how does that work? So what happens is each month I get a billing from Tecton that says, okay, Tecton has completed 60% of their work at this point. Moe Park has completed 80% of their work. Here's how much so-and-so is completed, and here's how much you owe because of that, of how much has been completed. So we only pay what's been completed. And then they hold back a certain value again, like as retainage. They don't pay retainage until everything's good, clear, you're happy with everything. Everybody needs to come back, just fix something, fix it. So we only pay for that portion that's been billed to us. So you're going to start seeing those next month because we ran over $2 million from Thank you, your bill. You have a copy of the fund report and the revenue report, just as always. You have in the voucher. And as I kind of explained earlier, that there is a state law that went into effect that schools have to archive their board meetings. So there's a link to on our website where each month you can tag into this and it will take you to YouTube to see the video. Questions?
Right, I need a motion to approve the payroll claims.
I'll make the move.
There. I'll second. Discussion on those?
See, we're paying this doing it.
I was gonna say, did the memo not correct much with what?
Sometimes you run out of credits. You haven't generated enough credits and the billing's not been keeping up.
It's been pretty fall last two.
It's not running today. Yeah.
This time of year we started running.
Yeah.
7704. Yeah. With, City Improvement West Indiana. Can you sort of give us an idea what that was about?
So 77 Porcelain Grove, Indiana, that was $31,054. This was for replacing some of the tile in the pool area. If you recall, about 6 months or so ago, we had dialogue about the pool and pool renovations. So they brought in a lift, van lift, all van lift, and got up to the ceiling actually of the pool and feathered out the dust that was around some of the vents, replaced some of the vents, replaced tile that was broken, went into the locker rooms and put plastic or put strips over the current ceiling grid, and some of them were rusted back. Made a huge difference. Replaced the lights in locker rooms so that you don't even see the light bulbs. It's just you can't see. It looks really sharp.
Did they replace all the ceiling tile in the pool area, or they just cleaned it?
Clean and
Okay.
yes.
Just not like what was broken.
Right, because those ceiling tile, not your regular just $1 ceiling tile, there are certain, it's kind of won't absorb water, moisture. And that was paid out of 610, so if you look underneath the fourth column, it'll tell you the expenditure code 0610, that's rainy day. So we need this rainy day money to pay for that.
Anybody got any questions? All in favor of payroll claims, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Any other questions, comments, concerns? None? Meeting adjourned.